short while, so please hang on. Thank you to our IT team for the lovely video. Now I'd like to invite to the stage our Secretary General, Nabil Fares, for his speech.
So, good evening, everyone, and thank you once again for joining us throughout this conference. I decided that for my closing statement, I'm going to keep it quite short, and I'm going to focus on extending my appreciation and my gratitude to every component that has made this conference the success that it has been so far. And so when Professor Samia and I both embarked on this journey to Izmir, we were fully expecting to give our all in order to make this joint partnership a success. However, what we were not expecting was just how much we would be given back. And so for the past 3 days, we have been given the chance to explore this wonderful city, this wonderful school, these wonderful people. We have been given the chance to go through an exquisite cultural experience, which is very much similar to our own. We have been given the chance to hear outstanding speeches from outstanding delegates who will go on to shape the world one day. And most of all, we have been given the warmth, kindness, hospitality of the amazing, amazing educators who are in charge of this fine educational institution. And so when I look back at my experience with EKIN JMUN in the future, I will look back at Mr. Akbar, Mrs. Dincher, the school principal, and the school founder who have welcomed us with very open arms. I will look back at Azra, who has been an exceptional counterpart, a true professional, and nothing short of incredibly helpful throughout all of my inquiries, all of my questions. I will look back at all of the chairpersons who have made this ride such a smooth sailing for all of our delegates. I will look back at Isabella, at Ege, at Yaz, and at Karahan, and everyone else. I'm sorry if I'm forgetting any names. You've all been stellar, you've all been wonderful. And most of all, I will look back at the amazing delegates who have once again demonstrated the power of the global youth and our resilience in front of the challenges of today's world. And so I will look back at all of these people and all of these moments, and I will look forward to so much more. Let this be a hallmark for global youth diplomacy, and let this be the start of a very, very prosperous partnership between LAU GCI and EKIN College. Thank you very much. Pardon me, I have forgotten to yield the floor to my lovely counterparts, so I would love to hear from Azra, and I'm sure that you would as well.
Thank you. Hi, I'm going to keep it very, very short. I have nothing prepared, so if I forget anything, please forgive me. Right, let's go. Mr. Wolf, Mr. Samia, his lovely wife, school administrators, Mr. Agdam, Ms. Dincher, lovely chairs, academic and organizational teams, Isabella, our Director General, Karan, our conference manager. Here I go. So I'm going to wrap it up for you, what we did these 3 days and what we've been doing for the previous 4 years, actually. So beginning this ride, we had the vision of creating a culture, and we started building upon that, building from that and from scratch, might I add, from our first year since 2017. And right now, seeing it growing progressively each and every year, I think we've done amazing, and I can see it as everything gets better and it grows, and the journey's getting even more and more fun and joyous as we go. I have a special thank you to Ms. Sinchar and Mr. Agdam. Thank you for believing in me. You're like my godparents. I love you. Almost everything I know I've learned from you, and nothing would have happened without your vision and your leadership. Thank you so, so much. I know I speak for the whole EKIN JMUN alumni and our senior team when I say these words. Thank you so, so much. Getting back to the culture thing. So we've been talking about going international, innovation, inspire, and that all stems from this culture that we created here, that we established here. And it is a very, very big joy to see that this culture that I was raised in personally is going to expand with our partnership with the LAU GCI network and UNA USA as well. And I'm pretty sure that everyone who's going to be a part of it in the next years, we're gonna see something very, very captivating. We're gonna be parts of something very, very captivating. And I'm so excited that this is gonna be a good place to start for all the kids interested in Model United Nations, as it has touched so many lives like mine and like my friends, and it's just shaped me into the person I am today. So I'm very, very thankful for that and excited for that. I think that's all for what I'm gonna say, and before I'm concluding my speech, our delegates, you were amazing. So, before I'm finished, let's hear it from you to give yourselves a short round of applause for all the amazing things that you did. Be proud of yourself. And I hope that this is gonna be a good kickstart for your MUN career, which is hopefully gonna move on as you grow too. Thank you. Nabil, can I have you here so that we can enjoy the conference? Oh, and Nabil too. He was amazing. It was so much fun to do all of this with him. Thank you so much for your hard work, for your passion, and for your contributions. It was totally amazing. Professor Sam is going to speak? Oh, you're going to speak? No. Please come to the stage to deliver your remarks.
I did not want to make a speech, but I was really captivated and dazzled by the term outrageous and turning outrageous into courageous. EKIN Institute College is a courageous college, led by candid and courageous people. We promise you that next year we're going to double the number of the delegates. We're going to bring delegates from everywhere in the world. We're going to give you the best training ever, and we're going also to enjoy your captivating presence. All what I want to tell you is one thing. If you ask me, with 30 years experience in running simulation models, who is a person who deserves to win an award from the administrator? So if you want to ask me a very courageous question, let me give you my courageous answer. The people who organized the conference, whom do you think deserves the Best Organizer Award? Okay, let me give you my answer. I would like to call on stage around 7 individuals or 8. Let me start with Akbar. Can you come forward, please? Akbar is one of the most passionate people I've ever met in my life. So he deserves 1/7 of an award, because I want to share the awards with other qualities and other traits. Passion alone, for me, has to be complemented by other traits. So I'm going to ask on stage the vice principal. Please come forward. Come forward. So it's an invitation for team building. You have passion, and then I would like to single her out with sense of ownership. It doesn't mean that Akbar does not have a sense of ownership, but here we're talking about splitting an award, because charisma and success has to be made by many people. It is the we and not the I. So the sense of ownership of this wonderful woman. And very important person who's now taking a video. So I'm going to ask the principal to step forward. Can you step forward? So for the principal, it has a lesson for you. And this principal has taught me also a lesson with 30 years of my experience. Of course, every day we have to learn a new matter for us to sleep a little bit less silly. This is a Spanish proverb. What is the trait of this wonderful person? He listens and he thinks before he speaks. What a wonderful trait. Because you can be the most charismatic in the world. You can throw rainbows of creativity on people. You can lure people, but you are self-absorbed. And I can hear that there is a peacock in front of me. I don't like peacocks. I like people who listen, who think before they act. So imagine with me in a word split between the power of passion, the sense of ownership, and the power of reason. But it's not all. I would like to invite as well on stage Mr. Troy Wolf. Okay. I would like to say that here is, and this is my message to you. Again, I repeat, not a single person is the person who makes a success of a conference or a success of an enterprise. It is collectivity and it is collective wisdom. Hear me very well. I reiterate to ingrain the idea in your hearts and minds. Power of passion, power of the sense of ownership, power of reason, and Mr. Troy Wolf, the power of wisdom. He is a person who looks at the big picture, but he always wants to cement, to consolidate, to reconcile. He wants it to be a collective effort, and he does it with diplomatic finesse. So here is the power of diplomatic finesse and wisdom. And now, I would like to invite the first speaker who was here, Callahan. Where is he? Can you step forward? So Callahan, he reminds me of myself. This is the power of courage. This is a roaring lion. This is a person who says, like Caesar, Veni, Vidi, Vixi. This person is amazing with his entrepreneurial self-confidence, his courage, and to making the impossible possible. So, of course, he has to be on stage. I will continue. 3 more people. Isabella, where are you? So, what power would really Isabella embody and epitomize? Isabella would really embody and epitomize the power of what? Resilience and modesty. Do you know what that does mean to be a former Secretary General and then to become a Director General? This is an exercise of modesty. So we need always modest people and wise people amongst us. Now, if I need to bring in a spokesperson, a marketeer, a reformulator, a communicator, a charismatic person with warmth and with presence, it definitely has to be Adra. So, the power of courage, the power of passion, the power of charisma, the sense of ownership, the power of reason, the power of modesty, the power of wisdom, and last but not least, a 21 years old person with a GPA of 3.99 over 4, this young gentleman is the power of intellect. And he's going to be responsible with the EKIN people, reporting to Mr. Akbar about our international exercise. What is the lesson learned? To make a long story short, one person cannot make it all. My advice to you, do not be pretentious, do not be unhealthily ambitious, be healthily ambitious, and always reflect that we need each other. We need our collective wisdom to make an enterprise successful. Amazing chairpersons, amazing delegates, and thank you, Rima, for being the power of warmth in my life. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So,
With that said,
would you like to join me?
of course,
We hereby adjourn the 4th annual session of EKIN JMUN.